How does text messaging work? We use text messaging every day, but most of us probably don't even think about how it actually works. So today we're going to learn about it. And I promise you, it's much more complex than you thought it was. At least for me, I was blown away by how much stuff happens by sending a text message. I will try my best to explain this as well as I can. So first, let's start with some basics and define some terms. SMS and MMS. I think a lot of us have heard about SMS. Less of us have probably heard about MMS, but this is the foundation for this topic of text messaging. SMS stands for Short Message Service. MMS stands for Multimedia Messaging Service. Let's go a little deeper and learn what these are. SMS allows for basic communication between two devices. This is a simple text message. Let's say you want to send a text to your friend. There's a new movie coming out and you want to say to them, do you want to see this movie? What happens is that message is sent to a short message service center. This is connected to a carrier like AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, whatever carrier you use. This center receives text messages, stores text messages, timestamps them, and sends them out to your friend's service center. These are usually less than 160 characters. A character is like a letter or symbol. For example, the word hello with an exclamation point is 6 characters, just so you guys can understand what a character is. So you just went on a beautiful trip to the mountains and you want to send your friend a picture of some of those mountains. This is where MMS comes in. MMS allows for multimedia content like pictures, videos, GIFs to be sent between devices. There's no limit to the characters that can be used. What happens is that MMS stores multimedia content in a special format, sends it out to what's called a multimedia messaging service center, and your friend receives a message. Now let's get into the details of MMS and how that works. So when you first send a picture of those mountains to your friend, the message triggers your phone to connect to the internet via your cellular data. Your phone performs what's called an HTTP post. So what is HTTP? Let me talk about HTTP before I describe this post thing. HTTP is what's called a hypertext transfer protocol. It's simply a set of rules for transferring information across the web. It allows for the client, which is you, to connect with the server. And the server is the hardware that facilitates that communication. Now, these service centers have gigantic servers, but that's what's needed to move information across the internet so people can connect with each other. Let me give you guys an analogy. Let's say you're at a baseball game or sporting event and you want some water. So you walk up to the cashier, you ask them for some water, you pay the money, and then they give you water back. HTTP facilitates that communication and makes the communication easier. You request water, you get water back. HTTP is called a request response system, and there are different methods used in HTTP. So let's talk about a couple of them that have to do with this MMS messaging. So like I said, when you send the message, your phone performs something called an HTTP post. This sends information to a server or submits data to a server. This then encodes the MMS message and it's sent to the Multimedia Messaging Service Center. When I say encode, I mean this. It packs it up in this special format. It's like when you're traveling. You got your clothes all over your bed, you're trying to figure out what you're gonna bring, but you can't just carry all these clothes with you. You gotta pack them up into a suitcase. And that's what this does. It packs up that information into an easy to understand format. This includes all the information of the message and who is going to receive the message. So to bring it back to the analogy, an HTTP post is this request, hey, I want some water. Then the message is sent to a service center, like I said before. This service center validates the person who sent it, just makes sure things are legitimate. And then the service center stores the message, like a storage unit, right? If you want to move somewhere, or if you want to store stuff temporarily, you put it in a storage unit. Once it's stored, the service center generates a notification. Hey, we got some information. This notification then gets sent through what's called a WAP push, a WAP push. So what is a WAP push? What it is, in simple terms, is it pushes that message and information through these servers to your friend. All these servers operate a little differently. So you need a way to push information between them so that your friend can get the message. So your friend receives the multimedia message, their phone connects to the internet through their cellular data. Once your friend receives the message, their phone performs what's called an HTTP GET. This requests the information that was originally sent. To bring it back to the analogy, that HTTP post request was, hey, I want some water. In this case, the HTTP GET request is you receiving that water. So that's again how HTTP works. It facilitates communication. Once all that happens, then your friend receives the message from the service center and they can view it. Let's talk about iMessage and all these alternative messaging services. iMessage, WeChat, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger. They use what's called a rich communication service. These allow for GIFs, videos, pictures, group messaging, read receipts to be sent through Wi-Fi and not cellular data. This is why WhatsApp, for example, is one of the largest services and one of the most used services around the world because you don't need a cellular data network. So it works really well in places that don't really have reliable data. Those are called over-the-top applications. They're applications that don't need a cellular network to communicate information. All right, so the summary. We talked about SMS. It's this basic communication through text message, right? Just a simple text message. Less than 160 characters, gets sent to a service center. That service center sends that message to your friend. Then we talked about MMS, how MMS uses a multimedia message service center. HTTP is involved, that request response system for facilitating communication. Your phone performs that post request. You're asking for the water. You're sending that message. Then your friend's phone performs a GET request. You already asked for the water. Now you're receiving the water. Your friend now receives the message that you sent. And then they can open the message and see the beautiful mountains from the trip you just went on. So that's text messaging. I think it's a really, really cool technology. I learned a lot. I hope you learned a lot. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Tell your friends, and I'll be back soon with another video.